Happy ho-ho.
Yes, it's sounding jolly festive, isn't it?
16 days till Christmas.
Good grief. Super excited about this update.
Yes, this is a nice update. A friendly update. One that's been needed.
Do say hello in the chat if you're watching us live. I see we've got a few watching already. We are genuinely live. We will do a quick shout out. We may display your comments on screen as well. I only say that so that you're aware, because these videos do stay on YouTube, places like that. So if you want to remain anonymous and have no one know you're here, that's fine too. Just let us know. But we'd love to chat to you if you're watching live.
I want to get on a sleigh now and ride.
I'm really feeling festive now.
Yes.
It's only a couple of weeks till Christmas at the time of recording. Hello! Welcome to this special Who update. Basically, just so you know, here's a story of what's been going on behind the scenes. I did explain some of this in the post yesterday, and then other people coming in, I was trying to answer, and I think it all appeared to get more heated than it was. I didn't mean for it to get heated yesterday. I was busy doing other things and trying to respond to that at the same time, because we do give priority to you guys that are in the Who group and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Anyway, So there have been some concerns about some of the repetition in content and the overall quality sometimes of content depending on the niche you picked. Now we already had in the pipeline an update to go out. We just hadn't rolled it out because we were just ironing out some remaining glitches. However, what we have been able to do is to bring out the update with the new prompts that we're using behind the scenes, while we're still waiting for the dev to add in the new levels of GPT engine, which is something we have got coming.
Right.
So so first of all, the update is already live. If you were to go in there, if you've got a book you weren't happy with, I would challenge you, go in and just hit that regenerate button and just see what the difference is. Now, I'm going to show you some that we did earlier when we were on experimenting, and I'm going to show you just how little information I put in for these as well.
And I think this is the most important part. The prompts that we've done is to help with creating the content with as little steps as possible. Now, with that in mind, when you add more notes, you say, I want images, you're adding complexity and time. The least amount of input, of course, the quicker it's going to be, because AI is just going to run.
Yeah. So here's one example. All I gave it for niche, I think the words, I can't remember exactly now, but I think I just typed in practical weight loss with small lifestyle changes, I think was the thing I gave it. And it came up with lean living, practical ways to lose weight and feel great. I thought that was a good title, so I went with it. You'll notice nothing in about the book whatsoever. I put nothing in author information other than our expert author is a professional writer and researcher. And you needn't have even done that, right? And then when I got to that, I did make the cover image, which I got to say, I quite liked. That's DALL-E, using DALL-E 3 engine for that. And then we generated the content, and I'll show you in here. We can also load it up in Word. I've got the export. Now, as you can see, the little intro, that's nice and short, and then it comes in, and you will see now that in this, so this is practical ways, talks about goal setting, clearing out your kitchen, talks about building a daily activity plan, talks about mindful eating, and you'll see the names of the experts it's bringing in now as well are a lot better. We were getting, it was just been lazy, really. It was going John Doe, Jane Doe, no. So that's all been improved as well. And if you are using the pull latest content from the internet, it will pull in genuine expert things. Correct. Rather than having to invent them. So this then goes into portion control for your main meals, mindful eating habits, meal planning, and then we go into exercise. It covers all the different types, again, with no repetitions. We get cardio, we get strength training, we get flexibility and balance. Then we got a chapter on sleep and weight loss. And it talks all about the science of it and sleep hygiene and all that good stuff, and stress management. This chapter, when we first saw this, we went, oh, there's some repetition. There actually isn't. Because this chapter is about hydration, the word hydration appears a few times, as you would expect. But if you look at this content and see what it's covering, there isn't really any repetition.
There's even a table. Go back. There's even a table.
We've got it doing really good tables now at times. It decides when it's best to do them and when it's not. You can, in your notes, if you want it to definitely do a table in a certain chapter, you can specifically still ask it to. But the point is, I didn't fill in any of the chapter notes for this. In fact, let's just go back to here. Come over here and show you. If I just pick any of these and say, look, they're all on add notes. There are no notes on any of these, all right? I didn't add any extra anything. And as you can see, the content that has come out of this, let's just jump down where we were.
5.
Something like this.
Hydration.
Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll just jump in some other places. The whole point is that this is a lot. There really isn't any repetition in it at all. that's worth worrying about. And yeah, once or twice it's still done a couple of annoying things that need tidying up, but they are really minor. And so I was impressed. So we did another one. Incidentally, that book ended up 9 chapters. That ended up writing 17,000 words. I think it was when it. Let me just pull up the Word document again, just to be sure we're not telling you any fibs here.
Now, with your integrations, you're using GPT 3.5 and DALL-E 3.
Yes, that is correct. I don't use GPT-4. I consider it overkill still. You don't, for what it costs, you don't get much of a better piece of content. So here is the, 18,000 words. So more than what I just said. 18,000 words, 66 pages. Now, if we tidied this up a bit, that'd probably bring it down to nearer, say, 18,000. And we are aware that this is still going on. There is a fix that's coming. That's the next it'll be a little patch fix for that. But that wasn't in the bit that we updated. So we know it's annoying, but we got another bug to sort out before we can roll that out. We'll get there. But yeah, I mean, look at that list.
That list looks really good that you just went by.
Oh yeah, the bullet point list.
Yep.
Yeah. So really good results on that. So I then ran another one, and this one was the one. In fact, I picked one of the ones that I did before. I think it was this one. Let me just check. Go to export. 2 hours ago. Yeah, this was the one. I set this going and I went off to a meeting, so I haven't even looked at the results of this one yet. Now, this one, you'll notice I did give it an outline because I prefer to. I like to control what my subchapters are called. I did give it that, but I gave it nothing else. And again, author information is nothing. So let's see what it's done. Let's have a look. Overview of online money-making landscape. Okay.
3 paragraphs for the very first H2. That's nice.
Yeah. Evolution of potential online income. Bear in mind, I took the piss on this. It's a really basic subject, and I've asked for a lot of chapters. But digital economy. Okay.
Oh, there's another table.
Another table. Some quotes. Online store, sourcing products. I mean, yeah, this looks pretty good. There's, again, no... I'm just looking for any really obvious, and I'm not seeing any repetition. Anyway, the point is, even just doing that thing where you only give it a niche, like in this example here, where I gave it no content information whatsoever, and that has produced a really good piece of content. And I'm not the only one. Kurt's been producing stuff with this, but I really would encourage you, if you've got books that you did before and you weren't overly happy, and I'll be honest, I got books on here I've done nothing with because they weren't good enough. I just went, it's going to take too much tidying up. But now I can go back and revisit some of these. So, like I did with that money-making one that we picked out there, most of these are actually published. Did that one. Don't think we did anything with that. So let's try this one again. Save. What we'll do is just go to, let's get rid of images. I don't want them. And let's go down to chapters and let's just regenerate this. Well, actually, here you go. This, I think, if it's still here, this was the original. As you can see, it's like one flipping paragraph, and there's quite a bit of repetition there, right? And it really didn't write much. It was like heading one sentence, heading one sentence. So this was the old thing. So now let's go back into chapters and just regenerate this.
See what happens.
So it's going for the money trail, sowing seeds of strategy, power networking, magic of online marketing. I mean, that's it. Bear in mind, I've told it to do a short book. This would be a lead magnet I'm generating here. It wouldn't be a full book. Okay, so it has kept the same. Right, cool. So now we will see what happens as it writes some of this. See, already there's the first introduction. Before it was like about four sentences.
Right.
Now it's 1, 2, 3 sentences, 3 paragraphs, really. They're just not fully spaced out.
Which they
3
will be
there,
once it
3
goes
there.
to Word doc.
Yeah, we got some improvements coming to the formatting as well. We are aware that, you know, we want to get the end goal, and we will get there, but it's going to take, you know, we are a small development team. It's our developer, Kurt, and myself, right? And the one thing that we won't do is push out updates too early at the risk of breaking things. We've seen that go too badly wrong for other people. Now, while we have pushed an update forward because of, you know, clearly there were people that wanted it as soon as possible, we found a way of doing that safely, and that was done over the last 24 hours, really, less than 24 hours. So please, please, please go back in, give it another go. Now, I'm going to say, still my favorite way of doing this is to give it the outline and 1 or 2 extra chapter notes, because I can get it to be even more specific.
Right.
But even running just with niche hitting the button now, we're getting really good results that need far less editing, far less deleting of paragraphs and sections. You know, you're now probably keeping 98% of the output, whereas before we were only keeping 80 to 90% of the output.
So about the notes, the very first note is the about the book. And I'm going to share that real quick. And I have just did this one while we're starting this call. So this book is ChatGPT Money Machine, How to Monetize Conversational AI. Okay. And that was the title I chose because I just chose one of the 3. I did not edit anything at all. But what I did do is I put in, when you're talking about AI tools online for creation for content, for the purpose of selling content, be sure to include WriterHubOnline.com. WriterHub Online is an AI-powered content creation tool, blah, 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 blah. All I did is I went over to ChatGPT and saying, make me a summary of this page. That's the only thing I put in here. So I'm expecting it to write about a bunch more other stuff besides just WriterHub Online. Keep that in mind. And then, of course, here it is. The power of conversational AI, the rise of conversational AI, growing popularity, chatbots, opportunities for businesses, unleashing potential, the evolution of chatbots, AI influencers, conversational AI, monetizing conversational AI, embracing automation, chatbots for business, AI automation agencies, navigating AI content landscape, how to monetize conversational AI tools, monetizing and then more risks, and then exploring WriterHubOnline.com because I told it to. I didn't say it was all about WriterHubOnline.com. I just say include it.
And that's the kind of thing I use the notes for. So, for example, I got my list of chapters and I go down and I think, okay, in that subsection there, that's a good place to make a mention of this affiliate product or whatever. So in the notes, I say, at the end of this chapter, make sure to mention as a recommended resource this product,
right?
And give it the URL and the name of the product. And then I look down the chapter list and go, and I want a mention of another thing in that bit. So that's how I guide it to write, to include those bits, so that when the finished book comes out, it's already got links and things that can be turned into affiliate links very quickly. So that's my most common use of the note section now. I was before writing a lot more in the note because it was necessary, but the improvement to the prompt that we have made now incorporate a lot of the things that we were doing in most cases, right. And we've got the AI to make the judgment call based on different factors as to when it should go which way. So we should see, I mean, there's been, as I said, this is a massive change to the prompt engine behind the scenes.
So I'm just going to start one here real quick. Write about local plumbers, why we need to use them. Just see what it comes up with. Stupid, simple, as easy as possible. Boom. Create. I'm going to skip the cover. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to do none, just like you did. I am going to make it casual, and I am going to make it second person, save. All I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to chapters and click generate. That way we're not waiting for the outline to be created and the content and everything else. Trying to make it boom. So here we go. Accept. And we're just going to wait until the first chapter goes, and we're just going to continue on and seeing what it comes up with.
Now, we are happy to talk a little bit about roadmap stuff, but we are not going to give you dates. This is the thing. We knew this was coming. We knew this update was coming when people were discussing it in the Facebook group, and we welcome honest debate, and thank you for making us better. We need to hear your feedback and whatever. You'll see that we have now created a thread specifically for quality control concerns.
Yes.
If you get something you think is shite out of this, by all means upload it there. I mean, I think you'll probably have to stick it on Google Docs and share it.
Google Drive, something like that. Yep.
And we can then go and look at it. It would also help if you do that, if you could maybe screenshot what input you gave it and things like that, just so we can try and recreate the issue and work out maybe what's gone wrong. It's our goal is to keep improving this, and we will keep improving it. So some stuff that's in the roadmap. And as I say, I'm prepared to talk about it. But please don't start saying when, because I don't want to end up like companies that rush stuff out and break things. We've said that multiple times. We knew we could do this safely. We're probably not talking a long time. We're talking weeks rather than months. But we've got some really good change. Now, one of the changes we've got is giving you far more control over which GPT engine you will be able to choose. At the moment, we simply choose between 3.5 and 4. But there are actually several models within 3.5. And guess what? There's one that's a lot quicker and not bad. There's also one that's slower and does better stuff. Right. So you'll be able to choose that level of control, in your integrations. So that will be appear. Now, we can't roll that out now, because if we did roll it out now, some of it just doesn't work. Like you choose a certain engine and it'll work maybe half the time, and half the time it'll produce shite.
And December 11th, OpenAI is making changes to their APIs again.
Mm-hmm.
Some are being deprecated while other ones are being promoted. So we don't want to make that change and then it's not working anymore. Well, that's right, because they deprecated possibly one of the ones that you were utilizing. We're waiting until at least after December 11th. I'm not going to say it's at December 11th, but that's one of the reasons why we're not doing anything until after then.
There's also a really good bit we've got going in, but again, I can't give you a time frame. But to do with we've massively reduced the amount of repetition and stuff that you're getting now.
Right.
We're taking that to a whole other level. We've worked out ways of feeding summary information back to various parts so that other calls definitely won't mention certain things, and that's all been incorporated. But that, again, is going to take time.
Now, some of that may also be limited to GPT-4 only because of the amount of content we send back to OpenAI. If we're sending 16K bit of information to OpenAI and it's limited to 16K, we can't get anything in return. It is a 16K back and forth total.
Mm-hmm.
We have to keep that in mind. So that's one of the informations that we're looking here. Consideration of adding Claude Pro. Yes, we're looking at Claude API as we speak as well.
We are considering any engine that becomes available that we can get better than satisfactory results from. We are up for looking. This is going to keep developing. This is why we couldn't sell Who for a one-time price.
No.
And we understand that for some people they might, who might not, they might consider it expensive, they might consider it whatever. I promise you, this project for us at the moment, we're making a lot out of it because we are throwing all of the money back into development and stuff like that. and plowing an awful lot of time and energy into this. This will, it's going to get better and better and better and better. This is cutting edge tech. What's interesting is we're watching one of our, in quotes, competitors, because I don't think they are, but they're now busy trying to get all the features we've got and add it into their thing, aren't they?
Right.
Which I find quite interesting. But we're just going to keep sticking at doing what we do best, and get these improved. And this is why those people that have asked us about a fiction version of stuff, we're not giving any deadline up, because all that is, we're not going to start really actively plowing loads of time into that until we've got this even better.
Right.
And so this has to be our complete focus. We are a small team. But we're making it happen. And I hope that you go back, if there's any books that you ran that you were disappointed with, I hope you rerun them, and I hope that you are a lot happier with the new output that you get. I've also got some other updates. There'll be another minor update that's going to improve the sales copy as well, because I've got some re-engineered prompts that I've been testing out for that, because I want to try and get a fuller piece of sales copy than it's giving us now. What it's giving us now is fine for an email, right, or just an intro, but it's not really a whole sales letter, and I'd like to get it closer.
I think the book description is very good for Amazon because it matches almost.
Excellent for Amazon. I also use it on Gumroad when I'm listing my PLR. I put, this is what the main book's about, and I just paste the book description in.
Now, I have done a little bit of changing to the emails, because I wanted a little bit more in depth. And so let me rephrase that. I wanted to sell the click, and the click is to the book, the purchase of the book. That's the whole purpose of the video scripts, the blog posts, the emails, the social media posts, is to sell the click to going where the book is for sale at. And that is what I refocused the emails for as well. So you may want to check those out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there we go.
And as you look how fast this is, I mean, I just started a few minutes ago, and it's on 10.3 right now. There's 10.2.
And I'm sure you've all noticed the massive speed increase when exporting your book at the end. It doesn't now take ages. It's normally a matter of minutes, and it's available for download. And that's because we have, again, investment. As we got some more and more subscribers on board, we've been able to ramp up the hardware that we're using.
Yes.
Which is great, which makes it faster for everyone. Oh, we really have. Like I say, I'm not joking when I say we haven't really made much money out of Who. We haven't. I mean, I've made more. This is truth. I've made more money publishing books out of Who on Gumroad, Amazon, and other platforms than I am making out of any share I get of any commission, because we're rolling nearly all of it back into development, servers, and things. This is what we have to do with a fledgling. And WriterHub Online is a new business, relatively new. So, but we do appreciate your patience. We appreciate you sticking with us. We do know at times things get frustrating. We are happy that you talk about that openly. We have got nothing to hide, all right? Mm-hmm. And I really do hope that I didn't come across. I know some stuff I think did get misread at times last night. I wasn't trying to defend anything. Right, we know it needed improving. We've been working on it.
Right.
But I couldn't rush that out. Now, as it happened, we were able to expedite it because Kurt was about yesterday, so we got on a call. We talked to the developer. We talked about things. I updated some other prompts, and Kurt went, "Oh, this is getting much better." We got dev server we can toy with and stuff. So that's what we do. We test all this out on a dev server. This is how we know what's coming, but we also know we can't roll it out until it's perfect, or as near to perfect as we can get it.
Because some development items are dependent upon other development items.
Yeah.
So we have to wait until one's done before we can say, okay, now we can finish it, or now this is
even as it was on the last update, we got that new bug coming in where we're getting those old characters, which is annoying as hell, and I wish we'd caught it before we rolled it out. But we didn't. But
at least we know what to search for in the content. Delete it out.
Oh, exactly. I've got it down to macro now, a search and replace, because I've worked out that string means apostrophe, that string is a double quote, that string is a space, and that string is whatever the other one is. And I just got a macro that cleans it up. But obviously, that's not perfect.
So there's all the. I mean, it's.
I will say, in the books I made earlier, I was doing 10-chapter books, and only about 2 of the subsections had those old characters in. So we've already got it doing less than it was, but we haven't eradicated it.
Correct.
But we're getting there. We are getting there. So please continue to let us know about anything that frustrates you and whatever else. This is the whole thing about how we know we don't know it all. Right. This is a new thing for us. This is cutting edge technology. And we're making it happen as quickly and as smoothly as we can, but we have to keep it as commercially viable as we can. If we pushed out an update and it totally broke, then everyone's just going to say, well, screw that.
Absolutely. I would rather have something at 80% than push out something that maybe adding a new feature that people want and it knocks us down to 40% quality. We don't want.
And one of the things that I've always taught in my marketing, and I teach my clients and things like that, if something is 80% there, ready to launch, close enough, right? You can always tidy it, improve it later on. And I've proved that. I am selling content literally with a minimal tidy up as it was coming out the old version, and people are buying it and leaving me 5-star reviews. Legit 5-star, not friends, not mates that got it for free. I'm talking legit buyers are leaving 5-star reviews on Gumroad and things like that. So, it's clearly good enough. Sometimes I think we set our bar too high. You are not your customer is something else I was taught very early on. And I'm glad I was, because I used to be the same. This is why I get it. I used to strive for perfection, and all that did was stop me from getting stuff released.
Yep.
Now I get minimum viable product. I get it to market, and if it does well, I go back and I build on it. And you can build on what you had coming out. And now these improvements have been made. Honestly, please go for this. Please go for this.
Yeah.
I have made a few thousand in the last 6 weeks just out of WhoBooks on various platforms. Gumroad, Amazon. When Amazon made me much money, I made about $3. But I got some number one bestseller, which I used to help promote other things.
It's the recognition. That's right. The huge part. Yeah.
I'm selling on Gumroad. I'm selling on Lemon Squeezy now. I'm going to sell on Digistore 24. I'm thinking like a publisher. I want to get this stuff on as many places as I can. I'm selling it with PLR, without PLR. You name it, I'm doing it. The same content, repurpose it 12 times. It's fine. You're going to attack different niches, different audiences.
It's just an easier way to distribute your content on different marketing platforms, because some people may buy on ClickBank, but they won't buy on Warrior Plus, but they may buy on JVZoo. They may not buy on JVZoo, but they'll buy on Digistore 24. They may buy on PayHip, Ko-Fi. It all depends on what you want to market and how you want to market.
It will always be our goal to get this thing to the point where you can go, here's a niche, and it will suggest something, and you go, yeah, and it does it. And you can take that book without any editing and upload it to Amazon Kindle or upload it. Right, that's where we would like to get this
and
to.
This
and that's where we will head towards.
Multiple times in that direction.
Yeah, but that's the panacea, right? And sure, we will always aim for perfection, but we're not likely to get it, right? We're always going to fall slightly short of utter perfection on this. But we will keep getting it as close as we can, and you will see it come on in leaps and bounds. And we really do appreciate your patience. We appreciate you sticking with us, and I just encourage you, please get using this, because I'm making money hand over fist, and I'm not even trying. I'm just doing it while I'm demonstrating to others how to do it. It's insane.
And that's just what he just got through saying there. You can do the same. You can demonstrate to your audience with your affiliate link that you can create this and you can post it up there, send them the link to go buy your book, which has your affiliate link for Who in there. And then not only are you making sales on your book, there's a possibility of you making recurring commissions on your Who. There's always that possibility. I'm not saying you have to. I would love it if you did. And at the end of the day, I think your bottom line would too.
And Tim, I would really love it if you would take the book you were talking about overcoming objections. I did that little mini one last night to demonstrate, and that was done before we improved the prompts. That was done using notes and using the training that Kurt had done the old way. But now, if you run that same book, because I reran mine this morning or this afternoon, it was this afternoon, and what it's come up with is different to what I had, but it's really good. It's still good enough to go. And as I show you, last night I finished doing that book and I thought, well, got it now. I might as well do something with it. It's available on my PLR store because I repurpose and use everything. If it's good enough, and I have had books that have come out of this that aren't good enough, I agree. I've got several on my list that I'm going to go back and rerun through it now. And that's been part of what we've done in our testing. Whenever I've had a book I've not been happy with, I've kept it on my list. So when we do the next update, I can rerun it and see how much better we've got. And I've got one title that's been on there since the beginning. And every update we do, when I rerun it, I'm like, oh my God. And if it never gets any better than this is great. And then we are going to make it get better. So. Alrighty, I think that's really it. That's the main part. We just wanted to come on a video and actually show you this and encourage you to go in, log into your account, pick a book that you've already done, just regenerate it and look at the content.
Right.
And if you have any quality concerns, there's a dedicated thread in there in the group. Post them on there. We do want to know. We're not trying to hide anything, and we're not trying to discourage you from being honest. I know we were. No. That's the problem. I was trying not to sound defensive last night, but I couldn't help but sound defensive because I'm like, I know the potential here. But that wasn't my goal. We weren't deflecting or anything else. We do appreciate your criticism, your comments, and everything. We only get better because
feedback.
Of you.
We need feedback.
We only get better because of you. So thank you. And on that note, I think we're done. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for being a Who user. We really do appreciate you all.
Try to